Supply shortages plague grocery stores. Have you been to your local grocery store lately? Are you wondering why it seems that some of your favorite everyday products aren't readily available as they used to be? Today, we will discuss a challenge that our world is currently facing and the factors involved in why grocery stores are struggling to keep their shelves full once again. So please sit back and relax as we dive into this modern-day phenomenon that equally affects our daily lives. The beginning of the supply shortage, 2020. Let us first go back a few years, during the beginning of the pandemic, as this will show us how the supply shortage initially came to be. During this period, shelves in your favorite grocery stores were left empty, as everyone panicking and being uncertain about how long the lockdown will last, were stockpiling supplies such as toilet paper, pasta, and other easy-to-consume products to ensure that they had the ample supplies needed for their day-to-day lives. Now, this may have been easily remedied by simply restocking. But with what the pandemic brought upon, transportation and distribution of stocks were put on hold as truck drivers, distribution staff, and store workers could not work due to either being sick or being required to go into isolation. The pandemic greatly hindered the meat processing industry, as it is an industry that was prone to the spread of the virus. This, in turn, created such a high demand for certain supplies, but without the ability to meet those demands, began a nationwide shortage of what is typically easy-to-get products that we are accustomed to having access to. But before we continue, go ahead and click the like and subscribe buttons. It takes a lot to make these videos. Your small actions tell YouTube to keep promoting our videos. Thanks. Now back to the video. The return of the supply shortage, 2022. Fast forward to the current day. In the year 2022, we are suddenly experiencing another shortage, reminiscent of the grim spring of the year 2020. The Omicron variant, even though we are now living in a world where we have access to vaccines and are slowly growing accustomed to what is now considered the new normal, it doesn't take away the fact that we are also still living in a world where rapid changes are constantly taking place due to the virus having subvariants that are more contagious. The rise of the now prominent Omicron variant that is causing record numbers of infections is one factor that is causing the supply shortage to become an aspect of our daily lives once more. As more and more grocery workers are catching this particular variant, this leaves them no choice but to call in sick, making it a challenge for our everyday stores to keep their shelves stocked with the products we need. This variant has also given stores the new challenge of being able to source specific products to keep up with demand. Climate change. While climate change has been a phenomenon that we have been living with over the past years, it is slowly rearing its ugly head as it is currently affecting the food industry. Severe weather events are happening on a more frequent and intense basis worldwide as the planet becomes even warmer than it once was. Growers of products such as corn and soy that are necessities to feed farm animals are yielding less of these, which impacts the availability and price of meat, eggs, and even dairy products nationwide. The severe weather changes will also affect delivery routes, thus making it harder to move the supplies around and get them to the places they need to be. Shortages of workers. Due to the pandemic, grocery stores have inadvertently turned into a battlefield with their staff members required to work face-to-face while the pandemic is going on. There is the added responsibility of explaining to their patrons why there are food shortages, and having to comply with the new health measure to ensure that they can stay healthy takes its own toll. This has caused so many workers to turn around and say that they no longer want to do this and just quit their jobs. Many grocery stores are still feeling the effects of this, as it was reported that many of these stores are still operating at only 50% of their typical workforce. If we factor in that many employees are also getting infected with the virus, it can clearly show how this is heavily impacting the movement and replenishing of products, leaving us with shortages all across the board.